Right, YouTube, here we go. Part 4. I am loving doing these. So we're going to cover 20 to 22. 20 is where we're going to pick up, and it is July of 2019 at this point. I have pretty much stopped using the clear stuff. I stopped using H in 2016, haven't touched it since. I do dabble in the clear stuff throughout, but as of right here in the story, 2019, I have pretty much stopped, but then I go into psychosis. I am 5150'd by the state for a week. I meet someone. We're going to call him Aaron. I meet him in the hospital, and, you know, obviously, there were fireworks, and it was crazy because I was in a mental hospital. I don't advocate for meeting people in a mental hospital, but it did keep me pretty much off of the clear stuff. So I am thankful for that. I really am. And honestly, like, it was a short fling. Even once we got out, we did talk. We talked and hung out quite a bit, and like, it was great. Great guy. Both still pretty unstable, and can't do that when you're unstable. So it did eventually fall off, and then I was single for a while, just kind of hanging out. I did live at my grandparents' for a while. Me and my grandma were so close. I called her every single day after junior high, talked to her for literally hours, almost every day. And she does pass away in this part, and that's why I'm grabbing my heart. It's kind of hard on me because I really she was my biggest loss in this life so far. So after things fall through with Aaron and I'm single for a while, I kind of start talking to this person. We're gonna call him Ralph. So I start talking to Ralph, and I mean, I'm doing pretty good. So I'm living with my parents, I'm working full time, like, I'm an assistant lead for non-foods. I'm having a great time. So I start talking to this guy, and we take it slow. Um, Honestly thought it was gonna work before it turned pretty toxic, and it turns very toxic. But yeah, it was great. And, I got to live in a little house with him, and it was lovely. And I got my dog, who I love so much. So, as much as that time also kind of hurt, it was also a way for me to blossom even more. I was doing really good, felt really stable, was able to feel even more stable and meet someone who did at the time push me in all the right ways and kind of keep me going on that straight path that I was on, because I really did need that encouragement at that time. I didn't have necessarily a super addictive personality, but I did do what I was around. So, like, I say not super addictive because not a lot of people can just stop using like I did. I did do that quite a few times, on and off, like a switchboard. So that's why I say what I say about it, about my personality, is that I do what's around me, and that is very accurate to this day. I have to work very hard to make sure I'm not picking up habits that are around me, because I do have that, but I'm not just going to go out and search for something kind of on my own unless it's introduced to me, if that makes any sense. So, anyways, going into 20, I lose my grandma. Or 21, sorry, going into 21, I lose my grandma. That is terrible. Also, COVID's happening because it's 2020. It's 2020. So, COVID's happening. My grandma's dying. Life is terrible. I didn't get a 21st birthday because all the bars were closed. So that didn't happen. It was not a thing. And that might have contributed to alcohol use disorder a little later, when I was 23, 24. I just barely got that under control. So everything kind of is starting to fall together at this point. Once my grandma dies, I honestly felt like I did not have a reason to stay in Utah anymore. So I'm still with Ralph at this time. That is the catalyst to, I'm done. I'm done with Utah. I'm leaving. I can't be here. I make bad decisions here. Bad things are happening. I'm done. So I moved to California, which is where my mom lives. Things start there. So now I am 21 in California. It's going really good. Like, it went really good for a while. I mean, about a year and a half from right when I turned 21 to right before I turned 22, things were really great for me. I wasn't back in school yet, which I still think is one of the best things to ever happen to me. So it's why I keep bringing it up. but I was starting to figure out life a little bit, and finally starting to figure out life without using. Like, that was the biggest thing. And 22 gets a little rough because we have a little bit of a dip in that. And that's what we're going to talk about next, is 22 to 24, which is also one of my favorites because I start college. But here, it's a lot of grippy sock vacation, rough and tumble figuring out life without using, because it is, anybody who has used can attest to the fact that it is very hard figuring out who you are outside of all of that. It's very hard. And I honestly think it contributes to why I was 5150 the second time, because that's just two completely different worlds that I was in. So yeah, grippy sock vacation. Grandma died. Met a guy who, unfortunately, it did turn toxic, but really was great for me at the time. And moved states. That all happens in 2 years. So that is 20 to 22. And yeah, we're gonna see how this does. Please like, comment, share. I am going back to a little bit shorter just because right now it is working. So we're gonna do what works. Please leave your feedback though. Thank you guys so much. You're absolutely wonderful. Can't wait to continue this story. We're starting to get to my favorite part now. The beginning is not my favorite part. It's a part that must be told because it made me who I am, but not my favorite part. Even this last part, not my favorite part. We're getting there. Again, thank you guys for watching. Have a great Saturday, Sunday, month.